Hi everyone, it's Gareth again. I thought I'd do another one of these. It's been about a week since I've done my first one, so I'm just going to sit here and paint and talk again. I got some good feedback from the last one, so it's going to be the same. And it's the same stuff as I was painting last week. Haven't finished them yet, so never know. Might finish some today. So from last week, I've had some good days and some bad days. Today isn't a very good day because really bad night at work last night. I'm not going to get into things with work because it just brings me down. So whatever. So I'm going to paint and I'm going to ramble again. But so I had my tasks for the week again, which I more or less achieved. I didn't get really much painting done, to be honest. Although I did get some of my commission painting done, and I'm getting closer and closer to getting them finished now. Basically, it's let me see if I can get one. It's these guys. These are wolves that pull a chariot. They're like giant wolves. They're huge. If you consider, let's see, just say this is a normal sized guy. This one here, this guy's a bit bigger. And they pull this chariot. It's got a superhuman lord on it. He's called a Space Wolf Lord. I got both walls finished. So I've literally got to do the chariot and the guy on the back now, and the commission's done. So I'll be happy when that's done because I've had it for way too long. It needs to get done, so it's getting done. I've painted some of my own stuff, as you can see. Well, you can't see, but it's the Tyranids I was painting last week. The Hormagaunts and Termagants and the Warrior. So yeah, I've made some progress, but not got as much painting done as I would have liked to. But I've been doing other things. So set my targets that I set myself at the beginning of the counselling courses. One was to go out with friends, which I haven't done still, and I kind of kicking myself for missing the opportunity to go out with the people that I do the counselling with, which I think we know each other well enough to consider each other friends now. And I've been invited to a friend's party, a school friend, someone I haven't seen in about 20 years. I got invited to her birthday party for Saturday, and I want to say I'm going to go. I really do want to go, but I can't control how I feel day to day sometimes, so it's just a case of I'll have to wait and see. But while out on my walk on Saturday, I bumped into a friend of mine that I haven't spoke to since the summer, I tried to explain some things as to why I cut off contact with my other friends, and you can't actually see any of this, can you? I'm filming all this on my iPad, and I need a camera. But next year I will try and get a camera, so it should be better. And I'm going to carry on doing these videos. It may not be specifically talking about my depression. I want to do more stuff focused on my wargaming and my painting. So yeah, we'll move to that eventually, but for now, this is my ramble. So yeah, I spoke to this friend, and he didn't understand as to why I still hold on to things that have happened in the past, and I tried to explain to him, like, with depression, you can't control how you feel. day to day. I mean, yes, you can consciously make the effort to make yourself not feel away, but it's still there in your back of your head. And like all the things that my friends used to do, and like a lot of people, for a group of friends, for a lot of people it is banter, it's joking about and it's a laugh, but when you're in a certain headspace, you soak everything in. Everything that's said to you, even the little sly comments, the little ones that aren't supposed to hurt you, the little digs that, well, you put on a bit of weight and blah blah blah. You remember it all, and there's certain things my friends used to do, and I dwell on it way too much, especially now. I shouldn't be. Some of these people I haven't seen in 5 years, but it still is there, and I'm trying to get past it. It's difficult. But I talked to him for about 45 minutes. I tried explaining things before I went on my walk, and I don't think he understood. But I'm not in a place where I need to stand there for an hour or whatever trying to make someone understand why I've done things. That's not my problem. If they don't understand, then it's fine. I'm not going to explain it to them. And he is still a friend, don't get me wrong. And I actually had a visit from another old friend of mine. Excuse me. I've got a bit of a cold coming, I think. Everyone around has had a cold. I seem to be getting it now. And I was out at the time when my friend came around. Which is a shame because I haven't seen him in ages. And I may call him later on today after I've finished this. This won't be as long as last week because I don't know. Basically, people are knocking on the door every 5 minutes. I'm waiting on my mum to come back with my nan. She may need help with shopping, so I'm going to have to stop this quickly. I have no way to edit this video, so this is just unedited me rambling. So if I have to stop it, it'll stop there. But let's see how far I can go. So yeah, the commission painting is getting close to being finished. My own painting is slowed up a little bit, and I've set myself a target for the year to paint 200 models, and I'm looking on course to actually finish that. Let's try and I've got to try and brace this iPad a little bit better. It's let's not paint on it though. That's a bit better. So yeah, my own painting. I set myself a target for 200 models for the year, and I'm getting close. I think I'm on 179 or 169. I can't remember, but I'll have a look. But the big batch that I'm actually doing at the moment will push me very, very close to my target. So I can paint some really weird stuff for December. And so yeah, I may dig through my old cases and find some really random weird things and just paint them for the sake of painting them. Not all painting has to be towards an army. You can just paint because you want to paint. And but yeah, I've had some games recently. I actually played The Hobbit, which is based on Lord of the Rings, at my gaming club on Monday, which was a nice change of pace. It's a very, very quick game, but it's not all space aliens and superhuman warriors shooting each other. It is the characters from Lord of the Rings, and we got a bit wires crossed because we both brought the same army, even so much as one of the same characters, but it's okay. It was fun. It was me trying to relearn a game I've not played in quite a long time. So it was pretty cool. and thank you to my opponent for trying to talk me through a game. Old dog and new tricks and all that. Yeah, things are going cool. So yeah, so basically, I'm gonna talk a little bit more about my wargaming side rather than dwell on the negative side of my depression and whatever. I'm gonna talk about what these the right way up, these things mean to me. And so basically, with wargaming, it's mostly dice games. So each model has a stat, and you use dice to interact with your models, and you have an opponent generally that you don't have. Some games are solo play, but they're kind of killing the aspect of a social hobby. So basically, yeah, you every model has a stat, and like how far they can move, how good they are in attacking, how good they are at shooting, that kind of thing. And it's about strategy, and in some way it's about how well you know your army, but there's a bit of intellect involved as well. There's been some things brought up recently in our local community about how painted your models should be before you put them on the tabletop. And this isn't angrily hitting back at anyone, because I think there's room for everyone in a hobby like this. Like, people that don't want to paint, that's fine, I'll play you. People that want to paint to the standards where, whoa, fantastic models and whatever, yep, that's fine, I'll play you as well. I generally try to treat everyone as an equal. I'm not superior to anyone, and I don't act that way. But it has been brought up that some people have different opinions to me, and that's fine. And I'm allowed to voice my opinions as much as anyone else. So I did. And yeah, it kind of got a bit heated. But I just, nice cool head, I didn't react to it, so it's fine. But basically, I could go into a game with an army that to this standard, and this is a model that has been built. It's not undercoated, it's not painted in any way, even missing the shoulder pad there. So it's not fully built, I suppose. And then you've got this guy here. This is he's just undercoated. I mean, it's pretty hard to see because he is quite dark. This is just a black undercoat. And generally, this is how I undercoat all my models. Most of my armies have like a dark feeling to them, and yeah, we won't actually get into that. But it's the way I like to paint. I like to paint quite dark things. And then you go as far as, say, this guy here. This is my Tyrannid Prime. He leads my Tyrannid armies, and he's fully painted. His base is finished, so you can see the grey texture on the base. He's done. There's a few little bits and pieces that might need finishing on him, like the little spike on his tongue and on his whip thing there. But generally speaking, he's considered finished. And these guys, these are, I would say, about halfway done. They've had three base colours put on now. So strictly speaking, if I took these to a tournament, 3 colours minimum, they would be okay to be played. And some people won't accept models until they're this stage. And I'm like, do you know what? I don't care, because I don't treat people as anything other than an opponent that I'm playing a game against. But this is generally my outlook on life anyway. Like I don't treat people by their colour or their race or their religion or whatever. I see people as equals, and I always have. Well, no, I lie. I haven't always, but since I actually grew up, I have. So yeah, I try to treat everyone equally. But as you'll see from the 4 models I just held up, I don't stick to one project. I can't. I have a thing that's quite well known in the wargaming community as hobby butterfly, and it's basically I flitter from one project to the next. I don't stick on one thing. It's because I get bored of painting. Say for example these termagants, right? You could quite easily in a medium-sized game you could have 100 on the board, and there's no way I'm going to sit and paint 100 of them in one go. Like 5 that I've got out here, which you can't quite see, but here they are on my specially made corks. Yeah, the 5 that I've got, that's about the maximum that I'll go in doing a batch painting, because painting I've done bigger projects of like 15, 20 models, and you end up not wanting to do it, and you drag your heels, and I don't want to paint today, painting them again, and blah blah blah. So the best way to do it, I think, there's other opinions, there's plenty of opinions, it's to little bits, small little bits, which is actually funny because it's what they're teaching us in the counselling sessions as well. Let's get back to the depression. To not overwhelm yourself, to take things in small chunks, and to make changes, which is my painting philosophy, as well as how I'm tackling my depression at the moment. So I found it quite easy to adapt to that, and here you are, I'm painting Tyranids again. But generally speaking, it's everyone has their own ways of doing things, just like everyone has their own ways of dealing with depression. Your paint, how anyone paints, like some people might go, right, so this one model I've got here, I'm going to focus on him and I'm going to get him finished to the best of my abilities. And I've done that. The commission I'm doing is that to some extent. But like I said, I've done the 2 wolves, and then I had to change to something else. It's not because it's a grueling task to paint that model, because it is quite a nice model to paint. It is quite a nice model, but it's not mine, and I need to do something for me rather than just do stuff for other people a lot. Because if you don't do something for you from time to time, you get I want to say fatigued is probably a good word for it. You feel the effects of not having you time, and everyone needs a bit of time for themselves sometimes. Like when you're working and you've got other commitments. Like I haven't got the commitments of kids or dependents or anything like that. I work, but I don't have the big responsibilities on my shoulder. And actually hear my mum coming through the front door now. But I'm going to carry on because I've only been going 20 minutes. So yeah, so I totally forgot where I lost my train of thought. So I'm basically I'm applying what I do in my hobby to try and help me fight depression, and I find when we're in these sessions, I'm referring back to my hobby a lot because I'm using it as I don't want to say a safety net. It's not a safety net because it's you can mess these up. You can put too thick a paint scheme on it. You can your brush can slip. You can screw them up, and it's like not unsalvageable. You can go back and you can tidy it up, or you can strip the models and whatever. But and life's kind of the same as well. Like you can go back and redo things. There's no big that's it, everything's over sort of moments. And so yeah, I just carrying on painting because it helps me, and I talk and I ramble while I do it. But yeah, so but the hobby butterfly in me is actually helpful. That it helps me mix things up from time to time. I don't focus on one thing, and I'm trying to do that in my own head as well. I don't try not to focus on the negatives, and keep changing things. One thing I was very happy with at the weekend is I'm trying to learn guitar, and I've been trying on and off for ages. I've had a guitar for a long time, and I've got a game on my PlayStation called Rocksmith, and it's a game, but it is a guitar trainer. It helps you learn guitar. It helps you learn guitar mostly through playing music, which is good because I love my music. And at the weekend, I was managed to hit all of the notes on "Paint It Black" by the Rolling Stones, which was I love that song. It's really good. But I was hitting chords as well, which is the first time me doing that. So I was really happy with myself, and I did that after I'd gone for a walk. Did my 4.5 mile walk again, which is I've really got to find a different route somewhere else to walk because walking through the places where I did, there's not very much in the way of sightseeing there. So, but my help group, the group of people that I'm doing the counselling with, they were suggesting parks and stuff, and it's good ideas, but if I have to jump on a bus to go to a park to go for a walk and then get a bus to come home, I'm quite likely to not do it. With my walking at the moment, it is a case of once I'm up and I've had my breakfast and whatever in the morning, get myself dressed, and I go. I just hit it and I do it. So it's pretty cool. I enjoy my walks because there's nothing else. It's just the walk, my iPod on because I love my music, and just walk. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But, the other thing I really wanted to talk about was now I forgot. But anyway, I'll just keep talking instead. It might come to me in a minute. Yeah, in the counselling they were talking about getting a good night's sleep, and I haven't this morning. Like I got in from work at 5, and I had something to eat, Well, I got in for work at 20 to 5. I had something to eat and went to bed. I didn't watch my iPad. I normally like watch something I've recorded on my iPad, and I didn't do that. I put my lamp on. I read about 8 pages of a book before I started dozing off. So packed my book up and tried to go to sleep, and woke up at 8 o'clock this morning with cramp in my leg because of how hard a night we had at work last night. And from then on, I couldn't get sleep again. The one time I did, it was getting up to 11 o'clock, I think. I think I'd been asleep for about an hour. And delivery man banged on the door. And generally round here, it's not a gentle knock or it's not ringing the doorbell. They bash the door down. They literally bang, 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 bang on the door. And I know it is something I've ordered. It's my delivery. So it is my problem. Do you know what? I just couldn't be bothered to get up. So it went back to the depot. And that's okay, because it's nothing important. But then I was awake and it's just like, do you know what? I'm just getting up now. Like, sitting there and trying to get asleep, laying there, sorry, and trying to get asleep when you are wound up because of the cramp in my leg. Wound up with work last night because of what's going on at work. And I need to get off of working nights, because like last night it was the temperature was okay up to about midnight, and then it plummeted last night. And I know I'm not in Canada, I'm not in Russia or wherever where it is freezing all the time, but it got cold last night, and it doesn't help when you're on the bus on the way home and the driver's got the air conditioning on upstairs. Like, that's not good. That's not a good thing at all. So I just grin and bear it on the bus, because I'm only on the bus for like 20 minutes. And got home. The house was nice and warm. My mum was already up, and had breakfast and went to bed. But in the counselling, they're very much. I don't want to sound like I'm being ungrateful to them, because they've been really helpful. But I have found myself a little bit frustrated the last 2 weeks, because everything in the with counselling and in generally in life, and I know it's not everyone's fault. It's not anyone's fault, because that's the way things are. Every bit of advice people give you is focused on if you sleep at night and work during the day. Everything. And somewhere along the line, someone's got to turn around and say, do you know what? People don't always work 9 to 5 anymore. Someone's got to turn around and say, we need to relook at these things, because for people who work during the night while everyone else is asleep, these things don't work. The whole thing about, see, I just screwed up that, but it's okay, sorted. Simple things like, this is what you need for a decent night's sleep and whatever, and it's about time people realise that people who work nights are what is keeping this country running. Like, I'm not saying that people who work days don't work and they don't have a role to play and everything, because they do, don't get me wrong. But the people who work nights are the people who fill your shops when you're asleep. They're people who deliver your newspapers in the morning, or bring your milk to your door, and you know what I mean? Like, even my brother's a chef, and he works stupidly early hours. And like, there's no no understanding. If you've never worked nights, you don't get it. And all these people who write these letters about these things about how you should sleep and how you should do this, I don't know them, but I'm pretty sure none of them have ever worked nights, worked a night shift. And I don't mean the odd one or two, bit of overtime here and there. I mean for years. Because why would you? If you're a scientist and whatever, why would you ever work all through the night? Unless you like are on a major project or something. But it's a bit frustrating. Because I felt myself getting frustrated, and that led to me making a bad decision. But an opportunity come up, and I know Dave said not to beat myself up about it, but I do this all the time, and I need to stop. The guys from the group, the people from the group, because we've got to be gender good, whatever it's called. They went and did something I would consider a social thing, but it was going into a church. Then I assume they're all religious, and that's cool. I'm not. And I felt, you know what, I could have gone in and joined them. I would have only been there for 15 minutes, and it wouldn't have hurt me getting home 15 minutes late. Because yesterday I did pretty much nothing. I did myself something to eat for lunch, and then I just kind of laid on my bed and got ready for work afterwards. But I keep doing this in social situations. I've had friends invite me round to theirs for a war game, a day of wargaming, and my first reaction is always no. No, I make up that I'm busy, and I know it's going to get to the point where people will stop asking me, and it probably has, but it's almost like a knee-jerk reaction. Someone invites me to something like that, and my first reaction is always no. I don't know why. I've been like that for a while. But when my old school friend asked me to go to this party on Saturday, I didn't say no straight away. I marked myself down on Facebook as a maybe, and I've got myself a shirt sorted out. I am gonna get her a little birthday present, even though I haven't seen her in 20 years. But do you know what? We've kept in contact for quite a while through Facebook and whatever, and I want to make the effort. And I've no doubt that I'll be totally out of my depth. Like, there'll be people there that I haven't seen for a long time and whatever. But do you know what? They're people as well, and they've probably got their own problems. Some of them are probably worse than mine, but it's just people that I used to get on with, and people that I don't know. And like, the way I'm just looking at it is, you know, I could go for an hour, show my face, say hi to people, and that'll be an achievement in itself. And I'm I really want to push myself to go. And it's just, it does depend on how the rest of the week goes, because it may get to Saturday and all I have in me is the walk. Because that's something I'm definitely going to do, no matter what. No matter how I feel, I'm going for a walk on a Saturday. And it could be hammering down with rain, it could be snowing, I'm still going to do it, because it's good for me. I'm trying to lose weight as well, and I have been losing weight, and I'm trying to work out a bit. And it is just done at home because of the whole social aspect of going to a gym. But it's a start, and I'm going to carry it on. So yeah, I'm gonna really try to go to this party, and it's like I said, she's said it's a hip hop party, and like yeah, hip hop is not my thing, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter because she's a friend, and I'm gonna make the effort. And me dancing to hip hop, nah, that's just wrong. I love my rock music and always will. But it's okay to have a change every once in a while. But so yeah, so getting back onto better things, back to my wargaming. It's we've sorted out a thing for the club, so we've got better hours. We've got extended hours on a Monday now, and that seems to make everyone happy. It's gonna put a little bit more pressure on me, but it's a good pressure. It's a hobby. It's not work. It's not anything like that. It's a fun thing, and it should be cool. As we get more games on Monday, I'm still going to do my try and do my painting games workshop on a Sunday, because it's, apart from these little hours here and there before I go to work, it's going to be pretty much the only painting I'm going to get done is in Games Workshop. And the manager in there is pretty cool. He's put up with me through the 6 weeks that I was off sick. I was in there quite a bit, and so yeah, I quite enjoy being in there. And Sunday was good as well, because I saw people that I haven't seen in a while, and we were talking and having a laugh, and it's good to have a laugh. Like, sometimes when life's just a bit shit, you need to have a laugh. So yeah, I'm going to keep doing that if the space is available for me. And I'm going to keep painting, because I'm going to hit my target for the year. I got my provisional driving license forms through. Let's speak English and not whatever. And I got my manager at work to sign the photos for me. So I need to confirm as to what information I send off with it. But I'm going to do that probably tomorrow, and then send them off, and I will terrorise the road from then on, hopefully, if anyone actually wants to give me a driving lesson. Because I want to get some lessons under my belt, and then I'm going to jump into the whole intensive course. Because I've driven forklifts for 18 years, so my judging of distances is quite good, and my control of the accelerator and the brake and everything is pretty good anyway. And I know a forklift's not a car, but the same mechanisms are there, the gears and stuff. Obviously I haven't got big blades to lift boxes on the front of a car, although I could modify one. That would be quite cool. Probably not legal, but hey, it's a bit fun. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Fingers crossed, come March next year, I will be confident enough to try and go for my test. It's weird, because like, although I'm fighting depression and whatever, I'm a confident person. Like I have confidence in my own abilities, and I have belief in myself. The problem is with depression, it kind of erodes the belief in yourself, and I think that's where my problem is, because like I don't have other beliefs. I don't believe in, you know, people are good and whatever. People are what they are. But I always had belief that I was a strong person, and I know I'm a good person. I'm not someone who's gonna be nasty to everyone, and I've always said like I'd give my last pound away if it helps someone out, and so yeah, I believe I'm a good person, and like my belief in my abilities, I think, is what's been a bit shaken with the depression and stuff. Like not my painting. I'm an okay painter, and yeah, I could do this like I'm doing this, talking to a camera. It's kind of into your. I can do this while doing other things. It's kind of, I'm not on autopilot, but it's not far off. So yeah, this has been a bit of a different video. It wasn't supposed to be back about my depression and whatever, but it's about how I'm feeling at the moment. And I've got a bit more painting done, so it's cool, but I think I'm going to call it there. It's been about 40 minutes, so a little bit shorter than last time. Well, a lot shorter than last time, half hour shorter. But I hope these videos are helping other people, because that's why I'm doing them. Like this, yeah, it does help me vocalize what I'm thinking. But if it helps someone else out as well, then I'm happy. Because like we all go through these kind of crap in our lives, and like if we don't help each other out, then it doesn't get better, you know. But we'll call it there, because it's lunchtime and I'm hungry. So I will try and do this again next Wednesday, dependent on my feelings and how tired I am. But thank you again for, if you watch this, please don't feel obliged to watch these videos. If they're just because you're a friend and you feel you have to, please don't feel obliged, because this is just helping me. And yeah, but okay, I'll leave it there, and at some point I'll make a do intro or something like that, but we'll see. But thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you again soon. Goodbye.